A very good evening to you and welcome to CoreTV News. And this hour, I am Nena Nyama. The National Emergency Management Agency says 4 victims of the Shoki gas explosion, aside a 4-month-old baby, have been discharged from the hospital. NEMA Southwest spokesperson Ibrahim Fariloye disclosed this in an exclusive chat with CoreTV News. Our correspondent Abiola Oluwale has more.
Residents of Shoki, a suburb in Koshofe local government area of Lagos State, are still recovering from the gas explosion that happened in the area on Sunday. The explosion, which occurred in a beer parlor on L&K bus stop, injured 4 people and a 4-month-old baby. Giving an update on the incident, the NEMA Southwest spokesperson Ibrahim Fariloye confirms that all those injured in the blast, except the 4-month-old baby, have been discharged from the hospital.
Presently now, the baby is at Lazu receiving treatment, while the 3 men have been discharged. 2 men have been discharged. Hopefully today, the 3rd man will be discharged from the treatment at Afolabi Hospital.
Fariloye also blames the incident on carelessness on the part of the shop owner.
That we've been experiencing unusual fire disasters off-season, especially during rainy season. We've been experiencing fire disasters far more than other disasters. So people have to be safety conscious. Carelessness, the way we handle flammable materials, explosive materials, are not encouraging.
Victims of the incident speak on what led to the explosion.
Later, for that shop, I just hear the sound, bam. I see the shop, the pan, everything just scatter. Meanwhile, before I see myself gone. All the fence, they don't hold on me with my pikin, like 4 months pikin. 2 fence and another fence. It came my body. Some people come, they rescue me and my baby.
We want government as an head of the family. I want the Lagos State government to help us for this crack house now, because this situation, you know it, say in Nigeria today, nothing. All of us are struggling for money. See what is happening since yesterday. We just want to appeal to the Lagos State government. Let us help us to build this thing.
This is the morning after of the gas explosion that left 4 people and a 4-month-old baby injured in Shoki. Residents here have begun rebuilding process, but they are calling on the state government to come to their aid. Abiola Oluwale, CoreTV News, Lagos.
The National Emergency Management Agency NEMA has expressed the continued support of the federal government at safeguarding students, teachers and schools' infrastructures as a top priority of the administration towards the full realization of Safe School Initiative in the country. The Director General of NEMA, Alhaji Muhammad Sani Sidi, made the assurance at the 2nd meeting of Safe School Initiative Leaders meeting held in Tehran, Iran, where he disclosed the federal government has demonstrated this with a release of 3 billion naira for the presidential initiative in the Northeast and 53 billion naira for the Victim Support Fund to address the various emerging issues to mitigate the effects of the fading Boko Haram insurgency in Nigeria. In his presentation at the meeting titled An Overview of Safe School Initiative, stated that Safe School Initiative in Nigeria has received $50 million being support from Nigerian government, foreign governments and international donor agencies. The Defense Headquarters has refuted media report that many of the over 200 schoolgirls who were kidnapped in April 2014 from the government secondary school Chibok in Borno State have been impregnated by members of the Boko Haram sect. The acting director, Defense Information, Rabi Abubakar, says a publication by a national newspaper that one of the girls who escaped from the insurgents and handed over to the military at Baga made a claim is misleading and spurious. He urged members of the public to discountenance the report, describing it as false. He added that while the security agencies will continue to sustain the search for the Chibok girls and others being held captive by the insurgents, they would not give credence to misleading reports with no genuine source of information. The Nigerian Army says security forces are aware of the hideout and strongholds of terror group Boko Haram in the country. The acting director, Army Public Relations, Sani Usman, urged the insurgents to embrace the peace option and surrender as the troops are already closing in on them. The Army spokesman, who made this known in a statement issued on Sunday, also called the Nigerians to persuade the insurgents to renounce their membership of the deadly sect. The Chief of Army Staff, Tukur Buratai, has warned soldiers against fraternizing with politicians or play politics under any pretext, warning of severe punishment for any soldier found wanting in this respect. The Army Chief was speaking while on a visit to the Keje cantonment of the Army's 9th Brigade, says any form of indiscipline from officers and men will not be tolerated. He added that his visit is to get a first-hand information of what soldiers are going through as a new Chief of Army Staff. He said the Army's High Command will not compromise on the welfare of its officers and men.
Any officer or soldier seen hibernating with politicians or getting involved in politics of whatever nature, we will not tolerate that, and if he's caught, he will be dealt with accordingly. As a professional soldier, we are here to defend the territorial integrity of our country. This includes the population. We are not here to molest any civilian. I think I've made myself clear. Yes, sir. We also have some challenges in the areas of armed banditry, armed robbery, and oil theft. This got across most parts of the country as well. I know we had other challenges as well, administrative challenges. I want to assure you that your welfare is being taken care of. The logistics aspect is being taken care of. We are working hard to make sure your accommodations are improved. Your kitchens also are provided.
We'll take a break now, return with more stories. To stay with us.
Some pundits believe that as long as the political system is driven by selected few, corruption may be difficult to fight.
You should be careful about what you say.
I am not the only politician. Even if I've wronged anyone, it is time to forgive me.
Please for Arena every Sunday at 9:15 p.m. and a repeat broadcast every Tuesday at 1:30 p.m.
Glad to have you back. You're still watching CoreTV News in this hour. For more than news stories, join us on our social media platforms. Facebook.com/CoreTV News. On Twitter at CoreTV News NG. And on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/CoreTV Space News. The senator representing Kaduna, Shehu Hassan, is set to empower 3,400 women in the state under his skill acquisition program. The women were selected from Kaduna North, Kaduna South, and some communities under Kaduna Central District. Flagging of the training at his campaign head office, Senator Sani said he will be spending 2.5 million naira in each of the local government area. This would take total expenditure in the empowerment program to 17.5 million naira for the first phase. The women are to acquire skills in soap making, knitting, tailoring, fishery and perfumery, among others. The presidency says it is not bothered by the series of petitions filed against the ministerial nominees. The special assistant to the President of National Assembly, Ita Inang, told journalists in Abuja that the presidency expects the senators to do a thorough job. He was speaking ahead of the ministerial screening slated to begin tomorrow.
Petitions are as petitions laid before the Senate. And His Excellency, the President of the Senate, has given his direction and ruling on it, and the gavel has been dropped. And that stands the decision of the Senate. And nobody can say anything about it, and I will not say anything against what the Senate in session has decided. And it is not proper to go into a controversy with the senators and the Senate at all on any matter that lies within their constitutional powers.
Abuja's original indigents want President Muhammadu Buhari to appoint competent individuals from the area's ministers and political aides. They are also demanding that the president hands off the administration of the Federal Capital Territory to Abuja natives. The Regional Inhabitant Development Association said in a statement issued by its president Danladi Jeji that FCT natives have over the years been marginalized through indirect rule. The group further expressed hope that they will be represented in the next list of ministerial nominees. The natives are also calling for a total audit of land allocation by the Abuja Geographic Information System to ascertain those behind massive fraud in land administration. The Deputy National Chairman, South of the All Progressive Congress and former Governor of Ekiti State, Segun Oni, has denied the report that he turned down the ministerial slot offered him by President Muhammadu Buhari. Oni, who made this clarification while speaking at his Ifaki country home, says he had never wanted to be a minister at one time or the other. He also expressed his happiness on the nomination of former Governor of Ekiti State, Kayode Fayemi.
It will wait through. It will wait through. Whatever they are launching is a complaint. A complaint is not a verdict. And people should realize it is very easy. Who do people not complain about? Especially in this country where complaints are free. One thing I think we should do, coming from this, is if you want to complain against somebody in future, the law should make it compulsory that you should swear to an affidavit before your complaint is taken in. So that you know that if you miss it, you are going in for perjury.
On the petitions and protest greeting the nomination of Lai Mohammed and Rotimi Amechi, Segun Oni says they will scale through despite the objections. He, however, called for a law to guide Nigerians when writing petitions and complaints against personalities. Meanwhile, the All Progressive Congress says President Muhammadu Buhari will not interfere in the ongoing probe of some of his ministerial nominees. The party added that the president will not spare any of them found guilty of corruption by courts of competent jurisdiction, even after they have been confirmed by the Senate. Deputy National Chairman of the party, Senator Lawali Shuaibu, made a disclosure in an interview with reporters in Abuja. He explained that the president's commitment to the anti-graft war is such that he would not shoot anyone, even members of the party who were proven to be corrupt. The Rivers State chapter of the All Progressive Congress has called on the Senate to give the immediate past governor of the state, Rotimi Amechi, special consideration during the screening of ministerial nominees. The state chairman of the APC, Davis Ikanya, commended the Senate for its decision to be thorough in the forthcoming screening, but appealed to it not to totally discard the tradition of asking deserving ones to take a bow and go. Ikanye's appeal followed the Senate's insistence that each ministerial nominee must get the support of at least 2 senators from his or her state. Amechi is the leader of the APC in Rivers State and may not get the support of the senators representing Rivers State, who are members of the People's Democratic Party, PDP. Still on the ministerial nomination, a former chairman, Senate Committee on Environment and Ecology, Grace Bent, has urged members of the 8th Senate to dismiss the petition against President Muhammadu Buhari's ministerial nominee from Kaduna State, Amina Mohammed. Bent, in a statement issued in Abuja, asked the Senate to ignore the issue of non-indigenship of Kaduna raised by Mohammed's political opponents as mere allegations born out of bitterness. She noted that disqualifying such a woman of substance based on frivolous petition would be unholy, impious, and debasing for women in Nigeria, whose contributions to national growth and development have been unequaled. Former Lagos State Governor will take a break now. We'll be back with more stories. To stay with us.
You can now watch CoreTV News live from anywhere in the world on our website www.coretvnews.com. Click on Live TV on our website and watch us live.
And welcome to CoreTV Primetime Days.
To follow us on Twitter, click on Twitter icon on our website. On Facebook, click on the Facebook and YouTube to see all our previous news production. You can also watch us live on YouTube. Click CoreTV, leave a space, then News. CoreTV News, a 24-hour news station.
Glad to have you back. In business, President, African Development Bank Akinwumi Adesina says Africa needs about 100 billion naira yearly to address its infrastructural challenges. Adesina, who spoke in Lima, Peru, said the amount of resources in Africa to deal with that is about 50 billion naira a year, adding that a new Africa delivery vehicle called Africa 50 has been inaugurated to help raise funds to close the gap. The AFDB chief noted the power was critical to achieving economic growth in the continent, stressing that the absence of power infrastructure would leave the sub-region underdeveloped. And now to the foreign scene. The National Hajj Commission of Nigeria, NACON, says the death toll of Nigerians in the stampede in Mina, Saudi Arabia, has increased to 145. NACO's Commissioner for Planning, Research, Statistic Information and Library Service, Sale Okenwa, disclosed this while giving journalists an update of the stampede. The Commissioner of Operations, Ibrahim Modibo Saleh, said 29 out of the 145 persons who died were tower operators, 19 were males and 10 were females. He disclosed that 345 Nigerians were affected in the September 24 stampede, with the injured standing at 35. The Commission, however, noted that 165 pilgrims are still missing and there are ongoing efforts to locate them or identify their remains among the dead. A Palestinian man has been shot dead by Israeli police after he tried to stab an officer at an entrance to East Jerusalem's Old City. Speaking to journalists, some witnesses questioned the Israeli police version, saying the Palestinian man was not holding a knife. Israeli police spokeswoman Luba Samri, however, maintained that officers noticed the Palestinian acting suspiciously and ordered him to take his hand out of his pocket, but the man attacked the officer with a knife. She further disclosed that the Israeli would release a video to prove that the incident was stabbing attempts. This is the latest incident in the recent wave of Israeli violence against alleged Palestinian attackers, and with this, the number of Palestinians killed by Israeli forces since the beginning of the month has risen to 25, and at least 1,990 Palestinians injured. A military helicopter has crashed at the NATO base in the Afghan capital, Kabul, killing 5 coalition members and injuring 5 others. In a statement, Resolute Support Mission said a helicopter crashed due to a non-hostile incident around 4:15 p.m. on Sunday at Camp Resolute Support in Kabul. The statement did not give the nationalities of those killed and injured, but they were all NATO personnel. However, Britain's Ministry of Defense said 2 Royal Air Force members were among those killed when the Puma Mk2 helicopter crashed while landing at the base where Afghan security forces are being trained. The Ministry of Defense also said a convoy of British military vehicles came under attack early on Sunday in a separate incident in the capital, but there were no fatalities. And now to sports. President of the Nigeria Football Federation, Amaju Pinnick, has said a testimonial will be organized for Vincent Inyama, saying he deserves an honorable exit from the Super Eagles. Inyama returned to Belgium to meet with NFF President Pinnick, NFF First Vice President Sheyi Akinwumi, and Second Vice President Shehu Diko. Pinnick affirms that the country is bigger than any individual, that even if he is determined to quit international football, he did not have to do so in a situation of acrimony. Wales back Liam Williams has been ruled out of the rest of the World Cup because of a foot injury. Scarlet's wing, full-back Williams, 24, and Harlequin centre Jamie Roberts left the field in the closing stages of Wales' 15-6 pool, a defeat by Australia. Robert, 28, suffered a head knock but is set to be fit for the quarter-finals. However, Williams will play no further part in the tournament. Having overcome foot surgery in June to play in the tournament, Williams was concussed in the 28-25 win that helped knock out the host England at the pool stage. He returned against the Wallabies after missing the victory over Fiji. Williams' injury comes after Wales lost wing Hallam Amos to a dislocated shoulder against England. And finally, Lewis Hamilton is on the brink of a World Championship win in Formula One with victory in the Russian Grand Prix. Hamilton was running second to Mercedes teammate Nico Rosberg when the German ran into problems with his throttle early in the race and had to retire. Ferrari's Sebastian Vettel took second to pass Rosberg in the title standings. Force India's Sergio Perez was a fine third after Ferrari's Kimi Raikkonen dramatically collided with Williams' Valtteri Bottas on the final lap. Hamilton's 9th win this season means he needs 9 more points than Vettel and 2 more than Rosberg at the next race in the USA to clinch the title. Raikkonen's eventual 5th place means Mercedes must also wait until at least the race in Austin on October 25 before clinching the 2nd consecutive Constructors' title. However, there is a possibility Mercedes could clinch the championship if Raikkonen is penalized for causing the crash that led to Bottas' retirement. With Russian President Vladimir Putin watching from the stands and later greeting the drivers before they went onto the podium, the second running of this race was a dramatic contrast to the sporadic first last year. And that's it on CoreTV News on this hour. Thank you so very much for watching. I am Nena Nyama. Good evening.